Hey everyone, welcome back to Living in Summerville, South Carolina. I'm Ryan McHugh, your neighborhood expert. Today, I am diving into my heat maps. Now, it's been a while since I've done one of these videos, and like most people, they generally loved it. They had a lot of questions after I did this video in the comments. So what I actually want to do is do actually a more refined video of Summerville, and I really want to cover everything. So this is going to be a video you're going to want to save and not lose, because I'm going over it all right here in Summerville, South Carolina. Once again, Ryan McHugh, your neighborhood expert. Do me a favor, if you're thinking about relocating here, maybe you're going crazy. You're like, Ryan, I don't know where we're going to be shopping, where we're going to go to school, all of those things. Well, today I'm covering it all, and I'm going to be very detailed with this video. So be sure to grab your popcorn, sit back, relax, put this on the TV, and tune in and get ready, because here we go. So the first location I want to start with is the Azalea Shopping Center. Now, the Azalea Shopping Center is right here. This is right off of the 26, the I-26 on 17. Now, if you get off 26, you're going to get off into the Summerville exit. That's going to swing you down here, and you're going to go right next to the Chick-fil-A to enter the Azalea Shopping Center. Now, the Azalea Shopping Center is very neat because not only do you have Target here, you have Kohl's, you have Five Below, you have a ton of really great stores, TJ Maxx, you have the Regal Azalea 16 movie theater over there. You have Best Buy, you have Dick's Sporting Goods. And then the coolest thing about the rest of this is you've got all these little other buildings that have other restaurants, stores, shopping centers in there. So more niche places. They have a really cool clothing store here called Palmetto Moon. So if you're somebody that wants to get, gifts for people, you visited the area, you want to get them some take-home stuff, some souvenirs. I was trying to think of that word. You can go to Palmetto Moon. They have a ton of really great things, and the prices are pretty fantastic. Some of the other awesome short stores that are in the Azalea Shopping Center, you have the Sajak, the Shoe Carnival, Ross, Five Below, Party City, Ulta Beauty. You got Target. You got Supercuts in there, PetSmart. It's just a ton of shopping, and it's all exterior, so you can basically park your car on one end and just continue to walk all the way down. If you buy some stuff, you're going to have to walk all the way back to your other car. So I do recommend actually parking somewhere in the middle of this parking lot. Holidays, Black Friday, don't even try to go to this place. It is nuts. It's crazy. I mean, I went last Black Friday, and it was absolutely it was insane. So, really cool area to go shopping over here. Right across the street from Azalea, you're going to also find 17 is very commercial. So everything on the 17th, which is also known as North Main Street, this is all very commercial. Right across the street, you do have your Walmart Supercenter. You have BJ's Wholesale Club. That's off over here. And then you do have your Lowe's Home Improvement. You've got Belk, Hope Brings, Spectrum Store. You've got Sushi Hibachi House. Really everything, La Hacienda, Starbucks, IHOP, Bojangles. So again, if you do shopping, food, if you pick stuff up, you'll pass by this Azalea Ridge shopping area quite a bit. I find myself passing it maybe 2 or 3 times a day just because of where I'm traveling for work. The other thing I will mention is that 17 actually runs all the way through Summerville. So all the way from Summerville, where it goes up to Summers Corner, all the way into Monk's Corner. So very big. 17 does cross over 26. So you have 199B and 199A exit. And it's something to consider because 26 is what separates Berkeley and Dorchester County. So everything on this side of Summerville, everything in here is all Dorchester, where when you get over here, this is all Berkeley County. So a lot of people say to you, well, Ryan, what are the big differences between Dorchester and Berkeley County? And a lot of it has to do with taxes has to do with some neighborhood improvement fees, things like that. But it's important to know which side you want to live on. All right, so we've wrapped up at the Azalea Shopping Center. Now let's check out Nexton. So we're going to cross over the 26th. So guys, we're crossing over the 26th. You right on the left-hand side, you got Carolina Ale House. You have another Starbucks there. And then you have your parks at Nexton. So a lot of people work in the Nexton Industrial Park. You've got you got a ton of different commercial businesses in there. But then right in here, and I don't know why I didn't have an updated photo, but this is all of Nexton Square. So all of Nexton Square is going to have your restaurants, your shops, your workout. You know, you've got Bold Fitness over there. You've got Bad Daddy's Burger Bar, Viva Chicken, Summerville, Codfather, Hootins, Halls. You know, it's all right there. I mean, Nexton Square is great because you can ride your golf cart there, you can ride a bike there, take car. It's really well laid out. It's a very modern shopping center area. And personally, I really like the way they have it all laid out. It doesn't feel very commercial-like, even though it is all commercial. It feels more fluid. So now that we've seen Nexton Square, let's come to what is being known as a downtown Nexton. So where you see all of this greenery right here, all of this is gone. So it all has been replaced with buildings, and I have some video that I will show you overlay here where you'll actually see downtown Nexton. Now they went cool, guys. They went hip, and they just put DTN Nexton, but it's downtown Nexton. That is where they're going to have stores, restaurants, rooftop bars, rooftop restaurants. They're just going to make this downtown Nexton area really cool for growth and development. And I'm pretty excited about it because they're going to have so much coming to the area and so many things to do for people. It's really leaning into that live, work, play lifestyle that everyone's coming here for. All right, let's move back on to 17, going back down to North Main Street. Now, one of the big things about North Main Street, if you've been here or you're traveling here, and one of the things I think it's really important for people to understand is that it's kind of in transition. It's in gentrification right now. A lot of the old, kind of run down looking buildings are being tore down or rebuilt, or they're just totally rehabbing a lot of the North Main Street and adding commercial growth. So you're seeing a ton of these old places now get essentially gentrified and turned into really beautiful. Like they used to have this dance center that was all torn down, and a car area, which was kind of an eyesore on this beautiful piece of corner. And now they've got it, and it's a doggy massage parlor, but it now looks a lot better than what it did. So again, the commercial growth and the commercial development is helping shape the way Summerville really looks, okay? Now, let's move on and talk about the next neighborhood that's just a little ways down here on North Main off of 17, which is called Carnes Crossroads. Now, Carnes Crossroads is a fantastic neighborhood. It's actually an agri neighborhood, and if you've never heard of an agri neighborhood, that's okay. I hadn't heard of it either. But what it is they're going to have an 11-acre HOA ran area that is going to be allowable for residents to come and plant and grow things like corn, tomatoes, cucumbers, all that good stuff. So you're going to be able to participate in the neighborhood agricultural scene. So one of the big things at Carnes is really making sure is that, hey, besides teaching our kids how to play outside and have fun, we can also teach them real world experiences, which I think is fantastic, especially if you're moving to the area and moving into that neighborhood and you're wanting to make friends, you're wanting your kids to make friends. These are really, really great ways to do that. Now, one of the other things I really like about Carnes is, besides the fact the way the neighborhood is laid out, you have two school options in this neighborhood. You have your private school, which is Northwood Academy, which takes you all the way from K up into high school. So they do have a high school, and that is a more Christian-based, faith-based private school, which absolutely love that. We also have the Carolyn Lewis K through 8th school, which is a Berkeley County public school. But all my clients who go there, and I even have an agent on my team who she absolutely loves it. Her son goes there. I have clients whose kids go there. Everybody raves about Carolyn Lewis. It's a beautiful school too, visually, aesthetically, the exterior, everything. Absolutely beautiful. So both of those neighborhoods are tied right into Karns Crossroads. Now, the other thing that I really like about Karns Crossroads is they are currently developing the Publix grocery store for the front of the neighborhood. It's not like Summers Corner where like they've been promising it for the last like 5 years and it still hasn't come. Nope. Karns Crossroad, folks, you're getting your Publix and you're going to get a Harris Teeter. You also have East Bay Deli. You have a ton of commercial right across the street. And check this out. You have Uptown Karns coming, which is going to be a massive commercial area, very similar to downtown Nexton. This is called Uptown Karns. You see what they're doing there? Yeah. But the thing is it's going to have restaurants and shopping and all different kinds of services in there. And one of the restaurants is Neighborhood Tap House Karns. This is going to be a 2-story tap house, smokehouse restaurant. Their smoked wings or pulled pork is to die for, and happens to be my neighbor who is opening it. So I'm trying to help support him because that's what we do here. We support local businesses. Businesses support local businesses. And to be honest with you, who wouldn't support it when the food and drinks are that damn good? Oh, can't wait till they open. Now, you're also going to have more places like that in Karns Crossroads. So if you're living there, get ready, buckle in, and strap down because you guys are going to be booming in the next couple of years. And I see home prices in that neighborhood skyrocketing. Now, the thing I do want to mention, this neighborhood is controlled and ran by Lennar. Lennar is the only one currently building homes and has lots in this neighborhood. A few years ago, you had David Weekley, Pulte, Toll Brothers. So you had a lot of other options in Karns. So if I was looking at Karns, I actually might consider a pre-owned over a new construction, just because of some of the quality differences between Lennar and some of the other builders in there. But again, if you reach out to me, we can have these conversations. I can explain why. I think pre-owned might also be a really great value over going new construction in this neighborhood. But we can talk about that when you give me a call. All right. So one of the big benefits, if you're somebody that's moving to the area and you're like, well, Ryan, we may have to rent for a few months. That's fine. There are a ton of rental options. You have Azure, you have Bellary Flats. You just have a lot of different options in this area. This whole area of Karns, right from this corner where 176 is massively growing. It really is pretty impressive. Now, a lot of people will say, well, Ryan, that's great, but like, where's the hospitals? What happens if I get hurt? What happens if my child breaks a bone? What happens if I fall and slip? How far is the emergency medical staff? Well, great news. Berkeley has their own hospital. It's called the Roper St. Francis Berkeley Hospital. It has been there for about 5 years, but here's the thing, guys. It's already too small. They already are expanding. They're already building a massive addition right now. The addition is absolutely huge. It almost looks twice the size of the actual original hospital. And I can tell you this area is definitely needs this for sure. And then 176 here, which is State Road, this will take you up towards Cane Bay and Nexton, but 176, they're currently widening it. Yeah, they're expanding, they're widening the road. And one of the cool things is they're putting in sidewalks all down 176. So if eventually, let's say you lived in Cane Bay and you have a friend who lives in Karns Crossroads, well, you can drive your golf cart down there. You do have to maintain the 4-mile rule, but hopefully you're only 4 miles from your friend. So there's that. As we continue up State Road, you're going to notice a lot of kind of mixed use commercial, residential. But as we get up here, you are going to then see the Cane Bay High School on the right-hand side. You also have all of Cane Bay. Now, all of Cane Bay goes from 176 all the way back here. So this whole area is all of Cane Bay, all the way back to these big water areas back here. These are actually man-made lakes. This is a 350-acre man-made lake system that you can troll motor. You can go in with a kayak, canoe, paddleboard. So if you live in the lakes at Cane Bay, you have access to this. But again, just want to show you on grand scale how big Cane Bay is. And you can see that they're still building. One of the big things that I will tell people is that this neighborhood is going to be about 8,700 houses when it's fully complete. We're not there yet, but we're getting close. And some people like that idea, and some people absolutely hate that idea because of the traffic. Because unfortunately, in Cane Bay, you only have a 2-lane road to go somewhere. It's 1 lane one way the other way. So can see quite a bit of hang up in traffic in that neighborhood. Now, one of the fun facts, and I'll give you guys a little bit of a kind of a fun little information. This area right here between State Road, Black Tom Road, okay, and this Cooper Store Road, this is going to be a all new, very exciting, state-of-the-art water park. So if you live in Cane Bay, you are not going to be far from this. And some people love this idea and some people hate this idea. But this is going to be a resort-style water park with man-made waves. You can do all types of surfing. You can do wakeboards, boogie boards. So this is going to be very exciting for the area. And I know a lot of people don't get excited as I do about this kind of stuff, but I get excited because I see something like this helping property values in Cane Bay, but also bringing in additional money, additional jobs to Berkeley County. And that's where a lot of people who hate the idea, they just don't want to see the area grow. But if you are excited about the area growing because you just moved here and hey, it's fantastic. Now you got something else to do and it's not far away. You're gonna probably be able to take your golf cart here. How cool is that? Get a pass for the summer, things like that. So something to consider. I always like to stay positive. My glass is always half full. All right, so kind of leaving Cane Bay here and looking across the street, we look into Nexton. So Nexton is an unincorporated LLC of Summerville, which essentially just means Nexton is basically not truly a part of Summerville, but it's in the Summerville zip code, okay? But services, things like that, Nexton has their own road crews. That's why when you drive through Nexton, it just always looks so pretty and manicured all the time. It's because they have their own people doing it, but you pay for that in your HOA and your district improvement taxes. One other thing I want to talk about with Nexton is the commercial. So Nexton does have commercial areas right here. This is the North Creek Village commercials area. You have Nexus Square, then you have downtown Nexton. So you can kind of see a theme. They each have these commercial areas. Right in here is going to be Sea Mist Commons. Now, if you've never heard of Sea Mist Commons, that's okay. I hadn't either, but it's going to be on the Nexton side of things. This is going to be retail, restaurants, and from what I understand, they're going to have another gym coming. I also heard that they're going to have a kids bounce house type situation in there. So lots of things for families to do. That is Sea Mist Commons. That's coming. You're going to start seeing the trees fall pretty soon for this area. And that's probably coming sometime next year. They'll probably start the construction for it, but it's something to consider. And then that'll be right next to our North Creek Shopping Center. Now over here, if you're somebody who's envious of the new Harris Teeter opening in Nexton, which just opened, and you're somebody who's like, hey, I go to Publix at Cane Bay all the time to do my grocery shopping. Why do I have a Harris Teeter? Well, I got news for you. You guys are getting a Lowe's. So in Cane Bay, Lowe's grocery store, or Lowe's Foods, is going to put in a 52,000 square foot grocery store with bar. Yeah, that's right. I said with bar. In this grocery store, you'll be able to walk around. The shopping carts, just like Harris Teeter, have little cup holders on them, so you can have your wine or your craft beer while you shop. I don't know why they didn't think of this stuff earlier, guys. I mean, like, this is a smart idea. Like, this not a bad idea. Do your little shopping, little drinking. Just make sure you don't get blow a .08 on their way home. That's the only crux of that idea. But pretty excited about the grocery store options. In Lowe's Food, I would have to compare it to like a Wegmans. So if you're somebody from the north and you love the name Wegmans, well, Lowe's Food is very similar to a Wegmans style shopping experience. So definitely very pumped about that. Now, a lot of people will say, well, Ryan, we heard, great things about Cane Bay, but we heard everybody in Nexton is zoned for Cane Bay. So Cane Bay is overcrowded. Like there's wait lists and stuff like that. That's very true. But here's what's really exciting about the coming years. So right off of Black Tom Road, where the rear exit is of Cane Bay, right in here, this is where you exit the backside of Cane Bay onto Black Tom Road. They are slotted to build a massive school right in here that is going to be another elementary, middle, and from what I understand, possibly a high school. And again, that is going to be coming. And I think it should be here before they finish off the neighborhood, or at least I would hope so. But again, this is going to be something where if you are worried about moving to Cane Bay because you have kids that go into school, well, this is going to help. It's not here yet, but it's coming. And the way they build schools around here, it should be here in no time. That's truth. I mean, they built Carolyn Lewis pretty darn fast. So pretty exciting. All right, let's move off of Black Tom Road. We've looked at Black Tom Road. You also have Berkeley Preparatory Academy, also at the backside of Cane Bay. That's a charter school. It's a free charter school. You have to apply, but that would be another school where if your child isn't afraid of wearing a uniform, that would be a school I would definitely check out. I get some wonderful reviews. So again, we got that water park coming. We've got Nexton. We've got all the commercial. Let's cruise down Nexton Parkway, which, by the way, listen, whether you love Nexton Parkway or you hate it, there are people who live in Nexton who hate it more than you do because they have to make a left out of their street. And I'll tell you what, trying to pull onto Nexton Parkway with other cars coming the other direction, no bueno. It's awful, guys. I've watched some cars sit there for 15, 20 minutes. It's really rough. So again, Nexton Parkway does get jammed up pretty quickly. A lot of it has to do with just people not using the speed limit. Like it's 45, you can do 54. Nobody's going to pull you over at 54, but people will do 38. I don't get it, guys. I don't. One of the really great things about Nexton Parkway is they just finished putting in the all-new, brand-new Harris Teeter right here where these lovely green trees are, but you can see it. It's right there. They also have a fuel center, so every time you shop there, you get fuel points. So what you want to do is you want to go onto your phone, you'll download the Harris Teeter app, you'll log in, register with all of your information, and then you have a VIC card. They have an eVIC card, which you can then put onto your Apple. If you use Apple products, you can put it into your Apple wallet. And every time you go to the store, they scan your little card, and that's how you collect your gas points. And you can also collect coupons on there. All the coupons are digital. So kudos to Harris Teeter on being up on the technology. I think that's going to really put them above Publix for a lot of folks who live here. Now, let's continue to talk Nexton Parkway. As we continue down Nexton Parkway, it actually does cross over 26, and there's a on and off ramp there. And as you continue down Nexton Parkway, and can't believe so much of this is still shown as they haven't updated these Google Maps in a while, because this still shows it as all being trees, and it is not, I can tell you that. But one of the things I want to show you is this North Maple Street. This is actually an expansion into historic Summerville. So if you're coming down this road and you're coming through, this will actually take you into historic Summerville, where like Hughing Park is, Cuppamana, all of the historic places. This is where that road leads you into. So you can essentially go to Nexton to expansion into historic Summerville. But one of the cool things is they're widening the road and making it easy to get from Nexton, from Cane Bay, over into the historic part of Summerville and get there fast. So that's the most important part, because right now, a lot of people have to take back roads. For instance, if you're coming down this North Maple Street, a lot of people have to turn on to Wasamasa Road, and then make a right onto Bryan Street and then take that into historic downtown. But right now, what they're doing is they're working on revamping the road system so that it actually can take you right from Nexton into downtown Summerville. And I absolutely love that. Love all the stuff that they're doing. And historic Summerville is beautiful. Who wouldn't want to get there and visit pretty quickly? All right, so staying on historic Summerville, if we come back over here, you guys will notice that this road that you see all this right here, this is at 17. So you remember where we were up by the Azalea? Right here. Now we are back down. We've made a full circle. We are back down here on 17. And this is where you'll find things like Hutchinson Square. This is where you're going to find a lot of the commercial restaurants, Oscars. Oh my God, the Ice House. There's so many great places to eat. And 17 is where it all happens. Now, one of the big things that I want to talk to you about is Flower Town Festival. If you've never heard of Flower Town Festival, it's our one festival a year that just absolutely rocks. I mean, there's so many people that go to it. So I keep getting my numbers mixed up, but 42,000 people a day go to the festival. Throughout the whole entire thing, we can see over 125,000 people. That's pretty crazy. And it stretches from this section of downtown Summerville, from the historic district, from Hutchinson Square, and it goes all the way down for about a mile or two. And literally, there are vendors set up on each side of the road for at least a couple of miles. And then you get to right about here, and this is where they'll have like a break off for the kids for doing like park rides and different Flower Town Fest activities. You got everything there. I mean, all the different foods, the ethnic foods. It's one of my favorite things to do in Summerville. I like put it on my calendar, make sure we don't miss it, because it's one of the important things that I really enjoy doing with my kids. Now, moving on, if you're like, well, that's great, Ryan, that happens once a year. What else is there to do? Well, I'm glad you asked. So 17 goes for quite a bit of a long time, and there's a lot in between there. You're going to see a lot of different things. Like you're going to see laundry places, tire places, and it really does wrap around. You do have the Summerville High School over off of 17. Like I mentioned, 17 is going to run completely through Summerville. That's going to be pretty much how you're going to do a lot of your traveling if you're traveling to places like Summers Corner, the ponds, that good stuff. So once we come over to this part of 17, you're going to notice there's an area here called the Ponds. And the Ponds is a neighborhood that currently doesn't have any new construction for non-age discriminatory neighborhood. They also have a 55 plus community in here called Crestwind. So that's Crestwind, Charleston. But if you were here when Dan Ryan was building, they had D.R. Horton in here. A few different builders were in here. But one of the things that's really nice about the Ponds, it's just an old tea plantation with these big, massive oak trees that line the streets. And it's a really pretty neighborhood. And I think for a lot of folks, this kind of has the more little bit of seclusion that people are looking for, the little bit of space that people want. But it's just a really pretty neighborhood, visually and aesthetically. It just doesn't look clear cut and like they brought in all these new houses. Looks like they built the houses around the environment, which is really, really nice. If you continue, and one of the cool things too is like right here, this is Dorchester Road. So if you want to go get your groceries, your shopping, all of this is on Dorchester Road. And I will say this, one of my favorite places, one of my favorite pizza places, and I always plug them. They don't pay me to do that, by the way, but is the Brooklyn South Pizza. They're like right in here. Don't know why they're not showing up, but they have an amazing pie. So definitely check out Brooklyn South Pizza. It's right there on Dorchester Road, not far away from the Ponds. But let's come back to 17 and Dorchester Road here. As we continue down on 17, we will then hit Buffalo Lake, which is where Summers Corner is. So let's zoom out a little bit. And now we have Summers Corner. And again, Summers Corner is an all Lennar neighborhood. So they have different areas that they're building up, different parts of the neighborhood. Summers Corner is going to be kind of like Cane Bay. So if you saw how big Cane Bay was, that's how Summers Corner is going to be. The big difference between Cane Bay and Summers Corner is, well, Cane Bay had 15 different builders building in there. Summers Corner, just Lennar. So the thing about that it's kind of tough is like, that's going to be a neighborhood you're going to have to live in for 5 years before you could turn around, resell your home and make equity, because the builder is just going to keep building those floor plans throughout the remainder of the neighborhood. So why would somebody buy your pre-owned home with that floor plan when they can go buy a new construction home with that floor plan on a new lot and get all their warranties, all those things? So that's one of the things about that neighborhood that makes it interesting and somewhat frustrating for a lot of people, is that you may not be able to do the things that you may not be able to turn around, sell your home in 3 years. You may have problem with the evaluation. You may have an appraisal issue. It's just one of those neighborhoods where I think if you're going to move there, to be there for 5 to 10 years, fantastic. It's got a lot of growing left to do. You're going to experience some more growing pains in that neighborhood, but is it going to be worth it in 10 years? Maybe, who knows? But again, that's Summers Corner in a nutshell. If you notice though, 61 cuts through Summers Corner. Now 61, this is an interesting little highway here. It's a roadway. 61 will actually take you all the way into downtown Charleston. So if you're somebody who works in downtown or maybe you just have to get to downtown, or you want to travel there pretty frequently, well, this area is fantastic because 61 will take you all the way into West Ashley. And again, that's going to take you past Magnolia Plantation Gardens, Drayton Hall, Middleton Place. These are all of the historic gardens and plantations. So again, if you're looking for stuff to do because you live in Summerville, you have things to do right in those areas, okay? And again, that's 61, which comes up to the Summers Corner area. You also over here, this is Ravenel. So you can see where like Summerville ends and then Ravenel picks up. And you got Homecoming, which is another great new construction neighborhood, okay? So again, all of this is all in here. And 642, this is your Dorchester Road. As I mentioned, you've got your Walmart Supercenter. So again, this is Summerville. We're still in Summerville here. Summers Corner is down there. You've got your Ashley River. Okay, so Ashley River does come up to Summersville. You've got Dorchester Road. And as we start to get down here, this is where it starts to turn into Ladson and North Charleston. But right here off of Dorchester Road and Ashley Phosphate is a place called Frankie's Fun Park. So if you got kids and you're like, guys, what do you want to do this Saturday? We're going to Frankie's Fun Park. Frankie's has everything. They've got miniature golf courses. They've got the really cool race kart track. They've got a pool where they do like water boat gun things. It's water tanks. That's it, water tanks. So a lot of really cool stuff to do. And then there's some great places, commercial places to go shopping and eat around there. But again, it's something that I want to point out because if you live in Summerville is so big, as you can see, that there's just so many places and different things to do. Now let's round out Summerville with one of the last neighborhoods that's right here in Summerville, and that is called Westcott Plantation. This area in here is also Coosaw Creek, but this is right about where it turns into North Charleston. So everything like right here, this is all still Summerville. And essentially the last neighborhood in Summerville is going to be this Westcott Plantation, which is surrounded by a lot of bigger commercial and industrial things. You can see the industrial park right here. Look at all these big buildings. So these surround that end part of Westcott Plantation. So again, if you're somebody that's like, hey, we really like the idea of being closer to things, well, Westcott Plantation will put you closer to Charleston and put you closer to North Charleston and Ladson, and then still keep you close to where a lot of the shopping and commercial is. You've still got, Stars and Strikes Family Center is over there. You have the YMCA over there. You have the Lowe's Food of Summerville. So again, tons and tons of things that are going on and happening all right in Summerville. So I hope that has really given you a full overview of Summerville and the different shopping areas and things like that you can check out if you decide to relocate here. I know, guys, relocating is very, very sometimes stressful, and sometimes moving to a new area can scare you. Well, I hope this video has made you kind of oversee the area. It's broken it down quite a bit, made it more palatable. Save this video, show it to your significant other and say, hey, this is where we're moving. Check out all the shopping and things we can do with the family. Be sure to go ahead and click like, subscribe. And if you're relocating here, you've got to give me a call, 843-226-5535. Ryan McHugh, your neighborhood expert. If you want to see available properties now in Summerville, go to www.buyfromrye.com, and I'll see you next time.